Hey, how's it going? Hope you're having a shit one. This is it. This is the Sony A1 II. It's my new daily photo camera. This is the top of the range photo camera you can get at the moment from Sony. Since I've owned this camera for a few months now, I thought I'd talk about it properly and not just talk about what Sony says it can do, but talk about what it's actually like to use in the real world. So just to run over some nerdy specs, it has a 50 megapixel sensor. It has a 50.1 megapixel sensor, 8K video at 30 frames or 4K video at 120, dual processors handling all the data, plus an AI processing unit for subject recognition, burst mode up to 30 raw photos per second, and the holy almighty pre-capture, which lets you take photos up to 1 second before you even fully press the shutter. Now, I did say in my first impressions video that I love the grip on this camera. It is definitely the best grip I've held on a Sony camera before. It's like chonky, but it's not too bulbous like an old DSLR camera. It's lightweight enough, which is good for traveling for me, but it's not like overly big unless you're gonna put a battery grip on it or something. And unlike my old A7R IV, it's got dual SD and CF Express card slots for those crazy burst modes and 8K video, plus all these other ports you can expect from a pro camera. Is that an Ethernet cable? Bro, I'm gonna get hectic download speeds with this thing. Can also be a Wi-Fi router. And yes, you'd expect the photo quality from a 50 megapixel sensor to be incredibly good, which it is. But it's not the reason why this camera is worth $7,000, because my old A7R IV had a 61 megapixel sensor. There are two main things that I love about this camera that make it stand out compared to an R series camera. This camera is all about raw speed and performance. And that's why the autofocus is so good on this thing. It's kind of hard to describe. I know this analogy is a little bit weird, but just bear with me. You know when you're scrolling on Facebook and Instagram and something pops up that you were just thinking about, and you didn't say it, you thought it, and then it's there. That's what the autofocus on this camera is like. You're walking down the street, you see something, you get your camera up, before your brain can even register where you want to go and what you want to shoot, this camera has locked on. It's like it knows what you're thinking. The autofocus is incredibly good. It's astounding, actually. I don't use that word that often on this channel because there's not really a lot of big words that get said on this channel because I'm not that smart, but it is genuinely astounding. The other thing that really stood out to me is pre-capture. Now, I've had the chance to test out pre-capture before in an older Sony model, which is the A9 III. And we took that out for some action shots, some rolling shots. And it was really cool to use pre-capture for that kind of stuff because I was making sure I got a lot more of my photos on my shoot in focus, or photos I probably just would have missed otherwise. But at the end of the day, it's not something that I would use all the time. It's kind of more of a safety net. And to be honest, most times I'm out shooting, I probably wouldn't even turn it on. But there is one thing in particular it's perfect for: shooting flames. When you're shooting a car with flames, timing is everything. Unless the driver can tell you exactly when it's gonna happen, most of the time, by the time you see the flame, it's already gone. Now with pre-capture, you can shoot exactly the same, but when you scroll back through your burst, everything is all there prior to what you were shooting. This is a really good example to show pre-capture for anyone who still doesn't quite understand, even though I've been crystal fucking clear with my explanation. We're driving through this intersection, flames come on, and by the time I see it, we've driven through the intersection. I've now taken the photo here. At least on my old camera, this is where I would have started taking the photo. And then from here on out, this is what we're getting, which is still good. Like, don't get me wrong, I would have been very happy with this on my old camera. But I know that going through the intersection where I initially saw the flame, that was a whole lot nicer. And that was really the better shot. I'm not a huge fan of the lighting that's going on here. The trees are kind of a little bit ugly. So if we go back to this first shot, where I actually started shooting, because I had pre-capture engaged, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then before we were about to go through the intersection. So I stopped shooting, where I actually started shooting, And then because of pre-capture, everything that I got beforehand, and the best part of the flame, arguably. It's times like this where I know I'm giving myself 3x the workload because I've got so much more photos to go through, but at least I know that I'm getting the shots that I want. But now because of pre-capture, it enables me to do so. It's cool shit. I'm excited about it. And although I won't be using this camera that much for video, it's nice to know I've got a camera that's just as capable as my A7S III, if not more capable, inside here as well. It's actually got 8.5 stops of stabilization, which is substantially more than my S3, 10-bit recording in both 8K and 4K. I guess the only downside is the low light performance for video is probably not going to be as good as the S3, but that's just due to the megapixel count of this camera. But at the same time, if you're really serious about filming, you wouldn't really be watching this video. In fact, you wouldn't even be watching this channel. As much as I want to glaze this camera, which I have been doing for the past couple of months on my channel, I do want to talk about a couple of negatives. Before we jump into that, I just wanted to quickly tell you about our new Discord. Some say it's our 10th Discord, which is not true, but I will be honest, we've made a fair few Discords, but this one is here to stay. Inside the Discord, we do monthly photo competitions, we do editing live streams, we're going to be doing business live streams, and also just help you figure out how to become a successful photographer, or even if you want to just do it as a hobby, what direction do you want to go with it? Plus, by joining the Discord or the membership in general, you'll get entries into every single giveaway we run with accumulating entries each month. Last month for our October photo comp, we had reflections as a theme. So a quick shout out to our 3 winners. We've got Flynn from Germany, who won this brand new 35mm Sigma f1.4 lens. We've got Matt from the States, who won these new Pro Grade SD cards. And also in 3rd place, we had Will, also from the States, who took home this brand new Wanderer bag. Awesome work, boys. We've just started a new photo comp now for November. So if you're interested in joining the Discord or joining as a member, there's a link in my description. So anyway, this camera does have some negatives. The Achilles heel of this camera is its battery life. Sony's never been notoriously known for how well their battery life is, but I was shocked with how much this camera drains battery life. And this is not just for the A1 Mark II. This is something I've noticed for all the Sony cameras that use the new AI chip. I mean, I am comparing it to my A7R IV. I could literally go out and shoot all day on one battery on that thing. This camera, I was setting it up like in the menu settings when I first got it, and I was watching it lose battery life. The battery life on this thing's kind of giving me 2015 vibes. You used to have to pack 3 batteries or something for an A7 Mark II, and that was just for lunch. Those things used to burn through batteries. To cut Sony some slack, this camera is pushing 50 megapixels, 30 photos a second raw files, plus if you've got pre-capture engaged, you're shooting an additional 10 or so photos beforehand. I can't really expect a battery that came out from Sony in 2017 to still keep up the exact same way I'm used to on Sony's top of the line camera. It's like owning a V8 Ferrari. You know, I'm not buying it for fuel efficiency so I can go on road trips and do it all on one tank. I'm buying it for performance. And that's what this camera does. Sony, if you're watching this, maybe you guys could consider updating your batteries, because maybe it might work on paper, but in the real world, it's too much processing power for those little batteries. The other frustrating thing about this camera is the 30 photos a second limit can only be unlocked by certain G Master lenses that have the motors powerful enough to do it with an updated firmware as well. That means basically every third-party lens, including Sigma, even if some of those lenses have the right high-speed motors, it's the firmware that then bars it from unlocking that full potential. It just sucks because I've collected a lot of Sigma glass over the years, and knowing that none of those lenses will be able to reach the full potential with this camera, it just kind of sucks. But I guess at the same time, maybe Sony's just thinking if you can afford a top-of-the-line camera, you can afford top-of-the-line lenses. But at least Sony isn't like Canon. Canon literally will not sell the RF full-frame mount to third-party lenses. So I'm standing over here. I'm just grateful I can mount a Sigma lens to my camera. Suck shit, Canon users. Aside from those two things, I am extremely happy with this camera. The autofocus is ocean gate fast. The pre-capture is life-changing, and when I can even use it, the 30 photos a second is just overkill. It's the fastest camera I've ever owned, which makes it one of the best tools I've ever used for my job, especially for the kind of stuff I like to shoot. So what's the verdict? Would I recommend it? If you're shooting action sports, motorsports, wildlife, anything that quantifies getting that moment and only having that moment right there, yes, this is definitely the camera for you. But if you're shooting portraits, landscapes, maybe astrophotography, things that are more stationary, save your money. There are plenty of other cameras out there. Probably get you better battery life and save you money on storage. But for me, this camera is my new daily.